How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle and welcome back to a brand new rumor video on the channel, guys. Today we got ourselves some news, rumors, and all that kind of stuff to talk about. So sit back, relax, grab some beverage, and let's get started. First things first, guys, we have this post over from Cerebi. It is, of course, the update with the most recent Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Tera raid battle. So the next 7-star Tera raid battle has been revealed. It's going to be against Dragon Tera type Sceptile. So yes, which is kind of funny, given its, Mega Evolution and everything. So yeah, it's going to be running from June 28th until the 30th. So again, this weekend, and again the week after that on July 5th, all the way until July 7th. So for the next 2 weeks, or I guess the next 2 weekends, you're going to be able to get specifically this from Tera raid battles. Again, if you want to keep up with any of this stuff, you guys can go over to PokeOS, which hosts all these kind of things, all these updates for anything. Like, for example, Cyndaquil Pokemon Go Community Day was also, mentioned here, and previous events are all kind of, brought up here. So definitely worthwhile going there, just to keep track of what's happening. However, that's some official news. Now let's talk about some of the less than savory news. We're going to start with this picture right here. Now, I've seen a lot of people send this my way, and people have been saying, hey, this is a leak of Pokémon Legends ZA. It's an actual leak. It's a leak, right? Now, what does this image actually show us? And this is not the only one. There is also this image right here. So let's first break down what's in these images. Now, first of all, we see what looks to be, well, a battle taking place. The actual artwork that's used here for like the bottom left, like the actual, where the health bar is, looks oddly similar to the same one from Legends Arceus. The actual battle menu, again, looks very similar to Arceus as well. And as for the battle itself, well, again, we do see two Pokemon in battle here. We see a weird T-posing-esque, officer in the back who's clipping through the ground. Some sort of gentleman here that you're battling against, and then it looks like some sort of street. Now, I'm going to tell you the first thing. This looks, and no offense to whoever did this, because, I mean, I'm going to just be blunt with you, but whoever did this, listen, it's still a good job. You still made an interesting fake, but the lighting in this is totally off, at least from how Game Freak does their lighting. Like, Game Freak, usually when they do lighting for their games, does it very differently. It's not really done in this way, but this game, or sorry, this image, the lighting in it doesn't really look like the way we expect lighting to look in a Pokemon game. It looks off. It looks way too off. And it doesn't end there. There are a few other aspects of this image that just make it look fake and just don't give it exactly that realism factor. Again, the lighting, the shadows, the way the shadows reflect, also the reflections on the actual, like the Prinplup here, right? The Prinplup just has this weird kind of reflection that's going off of it, which doesn't really look like the style they use in Pokemon. Pokemon use a very different sort of, coloration, shadow, like the way they do shadows is different. Like everything in Pokemon has a specific vibe to it. No matter which game you look at, they tend to kind of keep consistent that. And this just looks too off. Like the shadows are inconsistent. The world looks a little, I guess, plastic in a way. It doesn't look necessarily like, like the Pokemon art style. That's kind of the biggest issue. The second image, however, on the other hand, shows us, again, a character seemingly reaching out to grab a Pokeball. Now, this image looks a little bit more realistic. The thing that kind of gives this one away for me is got to be the grass. The grass just looks, again, a little bit too Unreal Engine-y. Like, it looks like it's out of Unreal Engine and not whatever engine the Pokemon makes their stuff in, which, in regards to that, I don't actually know what kind of engine they make. The only one I do know is BDSP, and BDSP was made in Unity, which is a little bit different. But yeah, it looks too Unreal Engine-y almost. Like, too detailed, I would say. We do see a Fanfy in the corner, which looks fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like the Pokemon animations themselves should, generally speaking, look about the same. But just the rest of it doesn't really come off really, I don't know, realistic to say the least. Of course, you could argue maybe this is a early in development footage, or, really early into creation or something like that. You could argue that, sure. But I really doubt it. Like, I really doubt that's the case here. So I'll leave it at that, though. However, we do have somebody, lovely Yoriden, over on Twitter, who says this image is obviously fake, but further analysis, here you go. Can we all just agree that no Pokemon game is going to use a random alphabet from Gen 5 anime? And then they're talking about, I guess, the kind of, text you see everywhere. But here's basically what he's talking about. If you look at some of the letters, like the Galarian alphabet, identical signs using Galarian text, uses the same filler text as the trailer, probably copied from somewhere else, as the text appears to be cut off at the end there, which, yes, but that's not necessarily the thing that proves this as fake. Game Freak has in the past used, like, let's put it like this. They have definitely in the past used images or text from previous games, because the text in Pokemon, like the actual Pokemon alphabet and the Pokemon language, isn't even a real language. It's just a made-up text, so it's always random. It doesn't really mean anything. He continues on and says that these signs all use one of the Unova alphabets from Best Wishes anime. Trainer's sign lower text reads BC, upper text behind the trainer reads CDE, literally just parts of the alphabet. Jump off text reads Pokemon. Girder's sign says Oikim, and obviously cut from Pokemon. Again, and this is from like the Unovan anime, like Best Wishes, specifically alphabet, which is so random. But that's not the biggest thing, though. That's the biggest giveaway, right? That's not the biggest giveaway. This was shared by Dusty, but here's the biggest giveaway. The artwork. So if you look at the image here again, you may notice on the left side here, like right on the left side, there's a drawing of a cowboy-looking character. Well, that's literally a fan art. That's a fan art that was made all the way back in 2018. It is of a cowboy-looking character for, a Pokemon game. It was just a Pokemon protagonist that was made just for fun by none else than this individual right here, Kazan, who created it. And yeah, somehow they left that in there. I don't know. I think Jordan did a great job kind of uncovering this and breaking it down because, yes, this is such a dead giveaway. Like, this is enough to prove that this is definitely not real. Just the mere fact that there is a fan art in there, like, literally this is in the background, right? Like, look at that. Just gives it away. And the fact that this other image is from the same location and same source pretty much confirms this image also as being fake, as they are from the same location or the same source or the same people basically posted it. The only way that this image would be real is if somehow, let's say this is an internal demo by Game Freak, and for whatever reason, they just used images they found on the internet, on Google. They used that to kind of, I guess, represent like a kind of a placeholder, right? Like some sort of placeholder just to have on the screen for the time being, which would be really weird because they could just easily put something else there instead. But that's the only other thing I can imagine for this to be actually real. I highly doubt it's real. I most likely think it's fake. It's too stupid for them to use a fan art. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, I would argue this is 100% fake. So we're going to leave it at that one for there because there's not really much else to say on this. If you guys have any further input, please let me know in the comment section down below, as I'd love to know what you guys think about this. But we're pretty much going to leave that there and move on to the next thing. So next up, we have a post on 4chan or from 4chan, and this one is a little bit interesting. So here's what it says: PLZA leaks by Anonymous. This was posted on the 18th, so it has been a few days now since this was posted. It's been about like almost a week. But here's what it says though. Hey guys, Game Freak's development has been really slow. ZA was meant to be on the Direct, so he's talking about the Direct that just happened this month, the June Direct. But they are really far behind. That wouldn't shock me. Probably will be delayed to early 2026. So here's what I know. Doubt if you want to, but it's going to be proven right. Game is going to be 30 frames per second. Oh god. I mean, Scarlet and Violet's already set to 30 FPS, which sucks. And apparently shitty optimization is why this game is being delayed. That wouldn't shock me if that's true. Unova remakes were going to be made, but it was apparently even worse than BDSP was technically. From a technical standpoint, I guess. It's why there has been no Unova remakes announced. It got scrapped. That would be wild if true. I really don't know about that. That would be wild if true. Because I still think, and I've kept thinking for the longest time, I didn't expect Unova this year. I expected Johto to be remade this year because it's the anniversary of the Johto games this year. I never expected Unova. I still think Unova is supposed to be remade in Generation 10, so the next generation, not now, in Gen 9. It never made sense to me. But it would be really weird if they actually did scrap a project like that. I highly doubt they would, though. He says the team you are working for is researching Mega Evolution so they can use Infinity Energy to power the city. Zygarde and AZ, some of the Mega... Wait, what? Zygarde and AZ both want to stop that. Okay, so the player joins them down the line. So apparently the team are working researching Mega Evolutions they can use Infinity Energy. Okay, so they basically want to use Mega Energy to power the city. However, Zygarde and AZ both want to stop that, so not using the Mega Energy. So the player then eventually down the line joins them instead. Cool, you switch sides. Now, some of the Megas escape into the city. These are the replacements for Alphas, including new ones. Golurk is one. Okay, Golurk getting a Mega, that would be pretty goated, I'm not gonna lie. Chorus also comes back. He is sent back in time to research a strange untapped Mega. It's Kyurem. Ooh, okay, meant to tie into the Unova remakes, although I'm unsure if it's still going to be in the game. It would be odd if it wasn't, but okay. He says there's Mewtwo post-game story. It ties into Hoopa and its ability to grab Pokemon from other dimensions. Okay, so there's a Mewtwo post-game story, and that same story ties into Hoopa's ability to grab Pokemon from other dimensions. How do those two connect? I don't know. Moving on. Apparently, Diancie has an event which is unlocked from the Scarlet and Violet save file. This is something they often do. They often do this. Like, I think for you to get Darkrai, you need to have I think Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl save file on your Scarlet, on your Legends Arceus to be able to do it, actually. So I think that definitely would make sense. Now, Hoopa from, apparently, also Hoopa from Legends Arceus, and Volcanion from Sword and Shield. So if you have all 3 of those save files, you're able to get all 3 of these legendaries, or these mythicals, whatever you want to call it, in some way, shape, or form. There is a tutor in the games who is implied to teach Dragon Ascent, but Rayquaza is not in the game yet, likely DLC. Starters are Snivy, Piplup, and Scorbunny. An actually decent combination, I'm not going to lie. There's going to be a new Tapu. Which one? We don't know. New regional forms are Gligar and Stunky are some of them. So he's implying there are more than just Gligar and Stunky. And Slacking is in ZA. Tront, wait, is still coded in. Okay. Only one leak from Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. Game Freak has been working closely to monetize the game. They are apparently getting IDs from Tencent for their trading card packs. Okay, so already you already mess up here by talking out of your rear end. First of all, why would Game Freak be working closely to monetize the game is made by creatures. Game Freak doesn't have involvement with the creation of the TCG Pocket game. Like, we literally know this. They announced that. It's a project that's being made by specifically Creatures Inc. Like, Creatures Inc. are the people who make all the Pokemon TCG stuff. They're the ones specifically involved with making Pokemon TCG Pocket. Like, they're the only ones. So that makes no sense, which is why I kind of lose trust in this rumor just from there, because you're already talking about the wrong company being involved. Game Freak works in mainline games, and Game Freak does own the Pokemon franchise, but they're not involved with this project. Like, this is not part of their, it's not part of their work right now. Like, that's Creatures Inc. handling TCG Pocket. So already there, you're kind of losing me a little bit on the trustworthiness. But either way, this was the first rumor we were going to read. We do have another one, though, which we're going to go into. And this one is from this person right here, who says Pokémon Legends ZA by Anonymous. This was posted about, I would say, 2 or 3 days ago. 3 days ago, actually. I'm not a veteran of Forchan, so please be patient. The next Pokemon Presents will show gameplay footage of Pokémon Legends ZA. So, obviously, the next Pokemon Presents would do that. Like, you're basically giving us a nothing burger, but okay. Sorry, I'm not aware of, I guess, the date. The footage will show off the return of Eye Evolution and show Mega. Okay, so I guess what he means by Eye Evolution is just Mega Evolution, and show Mega Fush. I guess he's mentioning the 3 starter Pokemon: Fushigabana, Lizardon, and Mega Comics. Wait, no, that's actually that's Gen 1 starters. That's Charizard, Blastoise, and because I always remember Lizardon and Comics as being like Blastoise and Charizard. And Mega Cernite and Mega Lucario. Okay, again, I'm a little bit lost here. I'm not gonna lie. Mega Lucario, fair enough. So I mean, he means they're just gonna show off the original ones we already know. The gameplay we show the first partner Pokemon, and that's going to be Harimaron, Foko, and Kiromatsu. Again, no idea. You guys can translate this in the comment section down below and figure it out yourself. If you want to, of course. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm gonna assume it's the Gen 6 starters, right? So, Froakie, Fennekin, and Chespin. I'm going to assume that's the case. I could be totally wrong, but I'm going to assume that. Apparently, the game is open world in Lumio City, and you take quests from the tourist center to help expand the city to then unlock more facilities. Again, this is a concept that, again, would work. Like, we know that we're supposed to be there, that we're supposed to see the, the redevelopment of Lumio City. We are probably going to do something like this, like unlock different zones or basically complete missions which unlock further areas of the city or build out or create further areas of the city. Kind of like, how was a good way to describe this be? Like, almost like a city building game, but without this actual city building. And more like do other Pokemon stuff to then make more places show up. Now, throwing Pokeballs returns and works the same as Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, but you use it to catch Pokemon. Well, wait, throwing Pokeballs returns and works the same as Scarlet and Violet. Okay, so throwing Pokeballs in Legends Arceus was amazing. I liked the method of doing it in that game because it added a little bit of a challenge aspect to it, right? And a skill shot aspect to it. But he's saying that it's going to go back to the way Scarlet and Violet did it, but you can actually use it to catch Pokemon. So he's saying that the way, because we don't actually throw Pokeballs like that in Scarlet and Violet, we instead just throw our Pokemon out to go battling stuff. But apparently we can still use that to catch Pokemon. It's a bit confusing, I'm not gonna lie. He says the rolling and crouching for Pokemon Legends Arceus doesn't return, which is a big bummer. I actually really like that movement, but I digress. Either way, now apparently one of the facilities is a dojo that teaches you fighting techniques. Nothing crazy there. We have had dojos before. We've had the dojo in the, the Isle of Armor. There we had the dojo and stuff. So again, nothing too crazy with that one. We also technically had a dojo back in Gen 1 too, in Saffron. He says the trainer will show in addition the new battle system. Ooh, okay. The trailer, sorry, not the trainer. The trailer will show in addition the new battle system. How is it going to be different though? The system is like Pokemon Legends Arceus, but each turn you can move your Pokemon to a new place on the battlefield. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. That would be so goated. That would be so interesting, man. Like switching Pokemon up in one shape or way, like in any way, would be so sick. Like if they genuinely brought in a system like this where like your actual position on like, let's say almost like a chessboard would actually impact if your attack hits or doesn't hit or the accuracy of it, that would be so cool. That would be so freaking cool, man. Oh, that would be so much fun. Honestly, I'm going to be real, that would be so goated, but I'm scared that's not going to be the case. Different moves will do more damage or have other effects if you attack an opponent from the side, back, or above. Again, this sounds sick. This actually sounds like what I would want. Now, again, this does make me feel like the person is kind of taking from this idea that we've all have, or not all of us, but at least the idea I have and a lot of other people have, is that we're going to be seeing the return of the Synchro Machine. Now, the Synchro Machine, as a quick little rundown for those who do not know, the Synchro Machine was introduced in the Indigo Disc DLC for Scarlet and Violet. What does the Synchro Machine do? Well, it lets you literally become your Pokemon. Like, by connecting with the machine, you can turn into, not literally turn into, but you basically transfer your mind and control the mind of your Pokemon. So you're effectively playing as your Pokemon. This feature is sick. It actually added a lot of really fun aspects to the Indigo Disc DLC. You're able to run around with friends. You're able to, like, pretend to be a Pokemon. You can even attack other Pokemon while in this form. It's really cool. I think as a concept, it is so freaking cool. And the thing is, in the Indigo Disc DLC, when you talk to the professor who gives you the actual Synchro Machine, she even tells you something very peculiar. She says, this is just a prototype. We're working on a better version of it. Which would imply that most likely Game Freak is working on a better version of that feature, which could be this. It could be something like this. Again, this rumor is not guaranteed to be real. It's probably fake, let's be real. But there is still a chance, and I think that's the point that gets me. The chance of it being real is what makes it even more interesting. So personally, I'd love that. I think that sounds freaking awesome. I think having the ability to move your Pokemon on the battlefield and where you attack from actually affecting the gameplay and the battle itself, that would be so good. The likeliness of it being real, though, Either way, moving on, they say that moving drains a bar and you can only move a certain amount of times. That would make sense. That would make total sense. Some moves can't be used if you have to move too far, and some moves allow you to regain movement. Okay, interesting. This new system is called three-dimensional battling. Actually sounds like a reasonable name. Like that, yeah, three-dimensional, because you're fighting in all the three dimensions, and you're not just stuck in a singular kind of view, forced to battle in one way. This actually sounds so cool. Apparently, the trailer shows the trainer ordering a Trimian on top of a building in an alleyway to get better accuracy on a Nyasper. No idea what these Pokemon are, but okay. The trailer also shows a special garden with wild Pokemon where the trainer gets their Pikachu to attack a Ouija from the side to stun it. Again, release date isn't given in the trailer, and no new Mega Evolution is revealed. So that's pretty much where that one ends, and I'm gonna be real, this genuinely sounds so freaking cool. Like, some of the stuff in here genuinely sounds really epic, but again, we have to be realistic, how real is it? How realistic actually is it? I don't even know. Like, I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not even certain myself, but it is interesting nonetheless, and I'd love to know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today, guys. So, keep in mind, go get yourself your hands on the Tera Raid Battle. Also, let me know what you guys think about these quote-unquote fake leaks, or leaks, if you want to quotation marks on that one. Of course, I'd also know what you guys think about the first rumor and, of course, the second rumor. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day.